It's about politics in the European Union, and Petra Bertová will give her view on the issue. We know her already for years, at least I know her, and people in the audience also know her for years from the European Citizens Initiative Stop 5G, in which she was very, very active. And she also helped us to establish ESC. And she is the president of a Slovakian EHS organization. Maybe she will tell something about that, if she likes to. And now the floor is hers. I will put it here.
Hello everybody, welcome to my presentation on European politics. There are seven principal institutions, European institutions, and today we will be talking about the fourth one, the European Commission, because that's the organ where new laws are created, and about the first, the European Parliament, because that's the organ where there are voted for or against. European Union wants to be viewed as a democratic institution, and therefore they offer a platform, have your say, where they offer citizens to say their opinions, their views, and everybody can be involved in the process of forming EU laws. Even you can send a feedback to European Commission during the process of creation new laws. There are 5 stages of each initiative. The first one, in preparation, European Commission just announces some new law or directive or regulation being prepared or planned. A call for evidence, it's just open for your views, your opinions, and people just send feedbacks and say what they have in mind. Public consultation is a questionnaire based on these previous answers. So upon these answers, they create a questionnaire and you just choose among the answers in the questionnaire. The draft act, so again, based on previous stage, they prepare the first version of this new law document, and again, citizens can comment or criticize or just send feedback and suggestions for improvements. Then the Commission analyzes them and prepares another version, final version, and the last stage is just commenting this last version. You can register to this service or to this platform, and then you can send feedback. There's no country limit, so everybody all over the world can send feedback, and that's because there's import, export, some relationships, so basically 8 billion people can participate. And last week I found out there's no age limit, so even young people can say something, they can register and say something. Okay, so we, ESC, we made 33 responses in year 22. Then in year 23 we made 6 another responses, and this year already we made 10 responses plus 2 just this week on Wednesday, I think. On the left side you can see a list of our responses. We always publish them on our website, so that everybody can see it very nicely what we responded to. And as you can see from the titles, there's very different topics. And it shows that a lot of initiatives in the EU were directly or indirectly related to the themes of our ECI, European Citizens Initiative. So this way we can respond to many different topics. Maybe you would ask if it matters. Is it really, does it really matter? Make a difference, okay. Okay, today we will find out. I will show you one example. There was an initiative digitalizing travel documents. You can see the process or the stages here. So during the second stage, there were 360 feedbacks. And this number is a big number, because usually there is 3 feedbacks, 2 feedbacks. So this number is a really big number. And second stage, public consultation, even more feedbacks. This one maybe is more easier for people just to answer questions. What can you see from this? Commission adoption, the last stage, was planned for the third quarter of 23, year 23. And still it's upcoming. So they still have to process all these 6,000 feedbacks. So we really gave them hard work to do. So I would like, this initiative is I like this very much because from Slovakia there were most feedbacks. So this was the first stage, and the public consultation, most feedbacks from Germany. Okay, thank very much to Germany. But again, I consider this still winner is the Slovakia. Why? Because if you look at absolute numbers, there is 500 feedbacks from Slovakia. But if we consider relative numbers, we are okay, so ESC submitted 2 feedbacks. It's the only initiative we submitted 2 feedbacks, all the others we submit just 1. Our main issues very quickly was biometric data, because when you collect biometric data and store it in digital way, it's kind of not secure. Another issue was energy supply, and there are the problems because, okay, we cannot always rely totally 100% to energy, because in case of some low supply or some blackout, there will be problems to use digital technologies. And another issue was exposure, because when talking about digital solutions, usually we mean wireless solutions. Okay. Now I would like to show a summary report. It's the summary from the questionnaire stage. It's the questionnaire, and they made a summary. I'm sorry for this long text, but it's really important, so let's read it slowly together. Given the large number of responses, so this means they consider 6,000 to be a large number. Imagine how many citizens are there in the EU. 40, 100 millions, and voting right has 400,000, 400 million. How much?
400,000 million. 450 million people in Europe.
400 million.
Yeah. 450.
Yes, okay, so it's really not many to participate. 6,000 is what? So, and they consider this a large number. Continue. there were some indications that a targeted campaign to influence the outcome of this public consultation was carried out. So, again, why do they think this? Maybe because there were many negative responses, probably. They didn't like the outcome, we don't know. So they used the software, QuickSight and AVS software to analyze our responses. And this analysis showed that the answers were spread over a long period. There were no saturated window of submissions. So if there were such a window, small saturated window, this could indicate a campaign, but there was no such window indicated. So the question is why they suspected some campaign, even if the software didn't find anything. Maybe because 4 out of 5 responses did not think that any of the listed potential advantages was in fact a benefit. Moreover, DG Home received a considerable amount of letters by post. Again, this was new information for me, that you can also send feedback via post, not only via internet form or web page they offer. So this was very interesting, and all these letters was provided on the same form. They just filled in the different names. So maybe this is the indicator of a campaign, probably, and they write more. They write that all feedbacks by letters and also by on the internet, both feedbacks was based on the same assumption that digital passports could become mandatory for individuals and could fully replace physical passports, which was not the objective of the initiative. My opinion is that people were afraid that they could become mandatory in a time, probably. That was the case. I would like, they say that they ran the other project, special Eurobarometer, and that one carried out very different outcome, very different to this European consultation. So 2 different results. And this is very interesting. I wonder who do they ask and where did they do this Eurobarometer. Okay. Very interesting was question 7, where they was assessing how easy it is for people to use digital technologies. For example, to use applications or to install applications, or to use chatbots, or to use automated control instead of personal assistance. So from the last column you can see that it's very difficult for a lot of people, 50% in some cases. So this means that European Union cannot cannot accept this new law, digital passports, because its citizens cannot use them, or don't want to, or are not able to use them easily. So, if European Union claims it's there for us, so this is the way to tell that what we want.
Is this from the public consultation?
The third stage, yes, and it's the summary report of the questionnaire.
Okay.
Is this a have your say, or the questionnaire they had spread out?
It's a part of have your say. No, it's the third stage of have your say. Okay, another question in the questionnaire was interesting for me. They were asking, if the production of physical documents led to increased climate changes, compared to digitalizing travel credentials, how important would that factor be for you? And again, the answers were people are not taking into account this factor at all. So, but the interesting part for me is how the question is put. They are already putting an answer to the question. Okay, let's go to another initiative, a digital Europe. This one had a lot of feedbacks in the second stage, call for evidence. And again, most of them from Germany, then Slovakia follows. Again, I consider Slovakia a winner in relative numbers. Okay, but I would like to thank everybody who participated. The second stage, okay, they skipped the second stage and just go directly to they skipped the third stage and went directly to the last stage, Commission adoption. So they prepared a document, and there were 100 feedbacks. They had to process these 100 feedbacks, and then they duplicated or ran again this stage, and then they got 4 feedbacks. The interesting graph on the right bottom part is that it's still not in European Parliament. So we'll see how our new maps will vote. And what I want you to show that on the right side is the document, the first draft they prepared. You can see it's 11 pages long, and when I searched for a word cash, there were 0 occurrences, Control F. And then after 100 feedbacks, they had to make changes, and then it was 62 pages long, and a word cash was there 41 times. So they really had to listen to our responses. They really had to do something. You can still read the responses through. They are still online, they are still public. And probably you will see that a lot of people were saying, oh, we don't like digital euro, oh, we want to keep cash, and so on. So in this, they had to reflect, and the new document says cash and says it has to be always possible to pay by cash. But I didn't read all these 62 pages, so maybe you have to read it through, but it's too late now. Okay. So, does it matter? I would say that this is the place, this Have Your Say platform is a place where laws are created and where you can have your say. Not in European Parliament, because maps are just raising their hands. And it's difficult to influence something in this later stage. So, and imagine, okay, later, you know the Hungarian Prime Minister Orbán, and he's famous for his public consultations, national public consultations. And why is he doing them? He's very clever, and this way he can go to European Union, and if they tell him something that, oh, we want this, and Orbán doesn't like it, he doesn't want it, but he will say them. He will tell them, oh, I like it, I like what you say, but look, my people don't like it, I cannot accept it. So his people cover his back. And I think it is similar in this have you say. So if a lot of people say their opinion, European Union just cannot do the opposite because everything is public, and let's hope they will not do the opposite. Okay, another point is that your voice is in fact stronger than you might think. How many maps are there? 700 and something. So, if I were elected and I would be one of them, my voice would be 1 divided by 700. 1/700th. So, if I write the feedback here, and there were 100 feedbacks to Digital Euro, you remember? So one of them mine. So my feedback was in fact worth 1 divided by 100, so 1/100th. So stronger. I say again that it shows that a lot of initiatives in the EU were directly or indirectly related to the themes of our ECI, and it's very good for using it in social media. We use hashtags, and this way we can use a lot of different hashtags, and to target a lot of different groups, communities of people. And it's good to translate hashtags into your language, and this way we could target even more audience. So for the same theme, we use a lot of different hashtags in different languages, and there are a lot of themes, so we can use a lot of the hashtags. A lot of different groups we can target. And it matters especially for the east part of the EU. There's a saying in our countries that you only find out the value of things when you lose them. In past, there is a transmitter in the capital city in Bratislava. In past, there were a hygienic zone, the sanctuary zone around it. Now there are a lot of houses being built, and it's very luxury zone. A lot of rich people build houses there. They don't care about radiation anymore. For you to understand, we need a little. I need to tell you a little bit about history. The total power density from the space is 3 microwatts per square meter. I will demonstrate it with 3 grains of sand. During the Cold War, the Eastern Bloc had strict limits for workers and for general public based on thermal as well as non-thermal biological effects. The limits for general public was 10,000. I will demonstrate it with 10,000 grains of sand. It's approximately 1 gram. After 1989, the limits were increased to 50,000. I will add 4 more spoons. When we entered EU, our limits were increased to EU level limits, and it was 10 million microwatts per square meter. I will demonstrate it with 10 million grains of sand, and it's approximately 1 kilogram. it matters to us. For us, it's not a matter of progress towards health. This all fight we are doing. For us, it's a matter of taking back what we once had. That's why I'm very active in the group of Have Your Say in ESC organization. Actual members are Giorgio, me, Kamil, and Rob. I would very much welcome another team member responsible for Facebook events, and I will tell about it later more. Now I would like to tell you more about how to register or about the registration process. So, the first picture shows you how you sign in to the Have Your Say service. You can see free services European Union offers. There are much more, but I just showed 3 of them. The first one is Have Your Say service or platform. So you can authenticate via these methods, verification methods. As you can see, there are a lot of options, but 3 of them are mobile phone options. Then there is some electronic ID, which is not yet available in some European member states. Okay. Another service they offer is European Citizens Initiative Forum, and it's a place where you can discuss with other people before you start a petition and citizens initiative. So you can discuss, improve, or see how people would react, and then you start a real petition, and then you register as an organizer. But you can see the verification methods here. Second and the third, they don't offer just password. Before, when we registered our initiative, there was an option using just password. So per nil registered, used the password, and we were in. But during the time, they changed system, and now the password is not an option. So Pernil had hard time to sign in, and I need to help her as a co-organizer to use my Slovak e-ID authentication. So if you want to use either this forum, or if you want to run new petition, maybe you can. In democratic system, you can. You just need to register. If you don't want to use your mobile or the other verification methods, so the European values and rights there aren't there for you. Okay. Let's have a look. Let's have a look on the forum. Okay, they offer.
Can we enter a complaint about this? Is there a possibility?
I will go to it. Wait. Remember your question.
Can we use it with the computer? I mean, with the PC?
If you have
If you don't want to use the mobile phone.
There is an option of electronic identification. So it's your ID card. Or maybe, I don't know what token really means, I don't know what other stuff really means. So
the token is like a code that you receive.
Yeah.
You can ask for a code and then you receive a token.
yes,
And
but
then
how
you
do you
can
receive it?
Use the token. But in a lot of things, it's more an ancient method. Most of the things.
But you have something in your hand?
Yes, it's
you
a
get a
code.
paper with codes, and you have to give in one of
And they send the paper to you via
Give
email?
me code 15 and then you
And they email you the list, the table, the grid.
these codes you have to ask them maybe at your municipality or somewhere.
Okay, so maybe this is the option.
It's
So
a
what
personal code. It's a personal.
What you can do is use an authenticator app, which is like there's something called one password. Should I use the microphone?
Yes. If you want to say, it's perhaps better to use the microphone over there.
So it,
Come here, come here.
Here, this one.
this one, okay. So it looks like you can use an authentic. No, I'm nervous. So it's an authenticator app that you can install on your computer, so on your laptop. There's something called one password, and you can generate these kind of passkeys there. It's something you can do with your wired system. I can explain that to you.
Yes.
Yeah, but not now.
Nice. Okay, so let's go to this forum part. There was one question from one user. They wanted to discuss this topic, and as you can see, 0 agreed. And there were a number of views, 700, and I remember there were 0 comments to this post. You may think that this is not interesting topic for people, so I listed all topics and ordered it according to number of likes or votes. And now here you can see there were 3 votes, 2 votes, 1 vote. This means this service, this forum, is not widely used. People just don't know about it, don't use it, don't think it's
Worth the time.
okay. But this service is already programmed, is already created, is already there on, and European Union pays for it. Sorry, not European Union. You pay for it from your taxes. So you paid this service you don't even use. So my suggestion is let's start use European tools more often. And homework for you, think about how we can use this forum for our purposes. If we manage to register. This is the example of an organizer account. This is Pernil's account. So it's still active. We can still see our citizens' initiative, our European petition there. I can still log in. But it's if we would like to contact our supporters, it is not anymore possible. You can see 0 emails would be sent because of GDPR. You know, after some time they have to destroy your personal data. So it's now practically useless for us, maybe just to use it for communication with European Union. There is a possibility to ask them questions, so maybe this is the answer to Rob, that we can ask them. There is also the right to information, something like that, so they have to answer us. So maybe we find a way to complain or to sort things out. Okay, European Union, I repeat myself, wants to be viewed as a democratic tool, a democratic institution, so they really want people to take part, to participate, and European Union is keen on involving young people in elections as much as possible. And they also fund projects, for example, Erasmus+, and and they really try to young people to be involved in electoral process. There's also a European Youth Forum. It's a big European across Europe, and again it's funded by European money mostly, so you everybody paid. And they also have a petition, Vote 16. Again, you can see they use hashtags. Hashtags are very famous. We can take inspiration. Luckily, in my opinion, there is only 1,000 signatures because I personally don't like young people to vote. Too young people to vote. I explain why. Because young people are easier influenced. This is an example of simulated elections taken in my country. It was 61 schools, and you can see the results on the right side. The names aren't important. Important is just that the first one is Progressive Party. And you can see they have almost half, 50%. And on the left side is results from my school only. I'm a teacher. And again, Progressive Party has wins. This Progressive Party is pro 5G, for example. And I call this, there's a phenomenon called imprinting. It means that first come, first served. It means that young people, what opinion they meet first, this is what they adopt. So in media and everywhere, in social media, there is full of this progressive thoughts, so they are, all young people are progressive, okay. So, and it's very easy to get first opinion, but it's very difficult to change opinion later. Okay, another example of European elections. Again, on the right side, national results, and on the left side from my school you can see the fourth place is the party. It was my party. It gained 7% and it was 12 votes. All these 12 votes was for me. It's only because children know me, know their teacher. This shows that a personal contact is important. Okay. I would like to come back to this Facebook part. How can you participate as well more? And maybe this is the answer for this man. I had an idea how to make it easier for people to participate in European Commission's initiatives. To create Facebook events. We have a Facebook group, Europeans for Safe Connections, and we could create events there. And when we create an event for each initiative, people could, you can click that you attend. You can click that you are interested. And this way Facebook already has an algorithm that if you click that you are interested, it will show to all your friends that you are interested. You can share this event. You can, if we, into the comment, if we put our opinions, other people can be inspired and you can write your comment in your language because Facebook automatically translates it. In European web page, all different languages are not translated. You have to copy text to the translator and blah, blah. So Facebook do it more easier way. And maybe, okay, it's again digital way.
I don't like China.
Yes, I agree. But it's a little bit step further to so that people know about these initiatives and to spread the word. Okay.
You're on LinkedIn too.
We can use all these social media. We already have an account there. We already use it. So yes.
Excuse me, but do you really think that it matters for them who are in the background, on the top, what we do here? Is it not only to keep us busy?
Yes, it's possible, but I think that we just cannot give up. We have to use all their weapons they offer.
Okay.
Yeah.